4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
That is one big pile of shit.
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Shadwick.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind. Today we're talking about Jurassic Park. Brought in our expert analyses guy, Mr. Gibbs.
Our expert witness and park
our
survivor.
expert witness to Jurassic Park.
It's a Mr. Gibbs.
How's everything going, guys? Everybody doing good? I think we are actually recording this on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, we are.
So I had a nice little rant about St. Patty's Day. The one, this may have been you, Shadwick, I don't know. The one guy at school that just waited to see who didn't wear green that day so they could go around and pinch them. Was that you?
No, not me.
I hated those dudes, and they would always find me, and I'd always forget because my family wasn't a bunch of alcoholics. I changed that. We are now. But
And by we, you mean you.
well, yeah, I mean, you got to have something you're good at in life.
The worst faux pas was the fucking ass hat that would always pinch you no matter what. If you were
That's what I
wearing
mean.
green,
Like,
dude, man.
oh yeah, he would just look
Just
for a
the dude-
reason.
Yeah, just the dude would just be like, pinch you and then be like, oh, I didn't see it. Man, shut your dumb ass up, man.
Or
Yeah.
just be like, that doesn't count.
He always had spiked hair with a little bit of a mullet.
Yeah,
He basically was Bobby Budnick from Salute Your Shorts. That's basically the guy that I have in
Yeah.
my brain. So,
can we get that posted up on Still Store,
yeah,
please?
for sure.
Or what was the kid? Scott Farkas from The Christmas Story.
Oh yeah, which basically is Bobby Budnick. Like
Yeah.
I mean, they have the same DNA.
Poor redheaded kids,
Farkas.
man.
So, Gibbs, man, how you doing?
I'm good.
Got a lot of good feedback from you on the RoboCop episode. Big hit.
I
Big
doubt
hit.
that's true.
So
That's true.
It's true. It's not, Lois. It's not. Well, let's just go ahead because I know we probably got a lot of stuff going on. Let's get over into our
Get out of the street, you fucking bums!
Fucking bum.
You fucking bums.
fun every time. So I stole a page out of Shadwick's playbook, went and got some more of the maple, the Knob Creek maple, and a little kiss in the cup of coffee. And
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, oh wow,
Oh,
it is a tasty beverage.
Think alike, man. Nice.
You sure did steal from me.
Yeah, it works really well, man. I'm pretty stoked about it. Leaf, 10 o'clock in the morning. What are you drinking down there?
Man, of course. What else other than delicious Smirnoff pineapple lemonade ice, baby?
There you go.
That's
Little
right,
tropical.
man. Dude, rewatching Jurassic Park, the theme of this podcast. I think that it made me a little thirsty for something tropical. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
Something a little,
Let's
you know,
get
something a little,
tropical. You
a
know,
little
that's
fruity. You know what I mean?
Gibbs, what do you got there, brudda?
I just drank a gallon of gravy, so I'm good. I'm not.
Is probably for the best. Not everybody should be drinking at 10 a.m. on a Sunday.
A gallon of gravy. What are you gonna wash that down with, man? Come on.
Some spicy pickle vodka.
There you go.
Brought by Pickle Shot, the original.
Nice.
Your pickle
so-
back shot.
Hey, since Chris and I both have coffee cups, I was going to tell you guys I bought one for Christy. Specialized. It says, "There's no one else in the world I'd rather have snoring loud as fuck beside me." Love Shadwick.
You're so romantic, dude.
I know.
I see what she sees in you. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let's just jump into it. 2 feet in,
Hold on to your butts.
in the pool, cannonball style. All right, let's talk about Jurassic Park, guys. I want to start off with, when do you guys first remember seeing this and where? I'll start because I believe me and Leaf, we saw it together in movie theaters. And it was, I remember it being so loud in the movie theater that I almost had to like cover my ears up just because I guess the THX shit had dropped or whatever it was. I don't know. It was some loud surround sound system, but the
Pretty
T-Rex
sure, yeah.
like vibrating, throughout the theater or whatever. But
Dude.
I remember we went home, went back into like Leaf's backyard, and then we were kids. What year did this come out?
93.
Yeah, so we're like 12, 13, and being like, but what if they really did this? And like we were just like, just enthralled in the whole idea that, man, maybe they can have like dinosaurs. And looking in the back of the woods and be like, T-Rex would come over right there. Like, what do we do? And then
You know that they are fucking actually doing this with the woolly mammoth right now.
yeah, they've been saying it for a while, but I was like, why waste your time on a stupid fucking animal?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
man.
bring back
Resurrect-
the T-Rex. Come on.
Oh man,
I mean-
you guys have any idea how much food that would provide for people though? The woolly mammoth, that's a lot of fucking meat.
Yeah, but
I'd eat the
so's the
shit out of that.
T-Rex. Yeah, what about the T-Rex?
Right.
Oh come on, you don't want to eat it, man. That's disgusting.
Well, apparently, since they ruined my childhood, they're all fucking birds now. So I guess it would just be chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tastes like chicken.
I ain't
Gibbs,
eating no damn woolly mammoth jerky.
Gibbs, where do you remember first seeing this?
I saw it opening night. I was living in Orlando, and I didn't really know much about it. I actually thought it, based on what I had seen beforehand, that it looked pretty stupid. But my parents were insistent that we watch it, and I was probably like, "Let's go watch some stupid little girly cartoon instead." But they forced me to watch this, and I freaking loved it. I can't
Gibbs-
believe how amazing it was. I was like,
Gibbs, like the last thing I want to do is go to the theater with my parents on Friday night and watch a bunch of claymation dinosaurs dance around.
yeah.
It's going to look like a Mickey Mouse cartoon.
I was like, I am 10 years old. I am way too old for goddamn dinosaurs.
Shout out
Good to be up.
Yeah, I also went on opening night, and the one thing I remember was like the opening scene where, like they have a dinosaur in like the little cargo storage or whatever, and people were like still like filing in, trying to get their seats, whatever. And I remember this one little kid, and it's not so much what he said; it was just the way he said it. I could hear him go, "Mommy, I'm scared. I want to go home."
And she was like,
And
sit your ass in the seat, you little bitch.
And I was like, "Get that fucking kid out of here. He's going to ruin it for everybody."
Yeah, get him out now.
I didn't realize we were sitting that close to each other.
Oh, I guarantee you I was not in the shithole Orlando. I was in the shithole Fort Oglethorpe.
Fordo like a real man.
Like a real
Also,
man.
wanted to say, going back, like one thing that that blew my mind about this movie was I was really into this set of cards that came out in 1988 called Dinosaurs Attack, and they depicted like really fucked up like people getting eaten by dinosaurs and destroyed and mutilated.
There it is.
Yeah.
Dude, core
I've got-
memory unlocked, man.
I've got like the whole like set of cards.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's
Still-
awesome.
Still in there. There's a lot of them in the packs still and shit. But yeah, like so whenever this movie came on and I realized what the hell I was watching, I was like, "This is Dinosaurs Attack, motherfuckers!"
Yeah,
There's
that's
dinosaurs
awesome.
eating people. I started
You
punching
got
some
those-
guy in front of me. I was like, "What? Look, dude, this is fucking Dinosaur Attack." He's like, "I know, bitch. I'm in the theater."
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Even dinosaurs.
But you got that.
Here we go.
I saw it open night, and all I got was this stupid shirt.
Pretty awesome.
That's not like I remember it for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
why.
It's
Something's a
weird.
little off.
And it's that Mandela effect shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
agreed. So, Leaf man, you want to carry
There is
us
no
over
Jurassic Park, only
into,
Zool.
Into some boring ass facts, and let's jump.
I do.
jump on
I
in.
absolutely do. If you haven't already, consider hitting that like button, subscribe button, all those little things you're supposed to tell you to do.
Hit
And
the
you
bell.
know,
And
you
if,
have some,
if you rotten bastards don't put some comments in there,
do it. Do it for Shaddy. Do it for Shaddy.
Shaddy, no.
do it for Shaddy.
Opening scene. What appears to be a dinosaur from the opening scene, as Shadok already mentioned, loaded into a cage from a cage into the park. We can assume this is because
Dinosaur.
we could generally assume it is a dinosaur because the movie is called Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the cage shakes askew and some poor bastard gets drugged inside by the dinosaur and torn to shreds.
Some foolish carpenter.
Yeah, while an Aussie with a slouch hat yells at his guards to Harambe her ass.
Yeah.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
It's a black guy that gets killed first, you know. And
The
guy
Breaking molds.
the stuntman was named Joffrey Brown, and his character's named Joffrey. I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah, who knew?
Dude.
I actually saw
played
some
himself.
behind the scenes footage of this, and Spielberg just doing his whatever, like he was doing this thing with his hands, you know, like going to see
Framing
like,
the scene?
yeah, framing it up, and then like he seemed like a pretty encouraging guy on set, like, great, yes, fantastic, oh yes, great. I don't know why he's English, but
Now eat his nuts.
yeah. But so anyway, it was cool to see like how they did that and like how they cut it together later on.
My friend here thinks it's fine the way it is.
It's a bit of amazing method acting.
See, I always heard that was like how they control the weather.
No,
Well,
that shows that you went to the U.
Oh, I thought that
Oh.
it was like Wu-Tang. You know what? I'm
Forever?
I feel like we need some clarification. We'll do some research. We'll clear this up.
I'll figure that one out. Yeah. Joffrey was actually torn to shreds in real life. That's he wasn't a real actor, so they just threw him in the bin with the Velociraptors. It was a damn shame, but what a bit of amazing acting. I mean, we're off.
Good bit of history, right? You know,
It is. We're off and running though, man. Like, so the beginning of the movie is automatically like you're in. Like Shadwick said, if you're late to the movie, like you've already missed like a critical action scene that's setting up everything to come. Already, shit is going wrong. Like instantly. That's the first scene. It's like Jurassic Park is kind of fucked up. It's like the old country.
Damn, that's nasty. The old country must have been fucked up.
So I remember being slightly terrified by this opening scene. To be perfectly honest, being like, "Oh Jesus Christ! Like this is a PG-13 movie." Like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah, what am I gonna see? And this dude's screaming. He's getting ripped to shreds. He's like, he's holding on like his fingertips,
Yeah,
right?
man,
And then
like-
he's just getting pulled in. It's like, is this like? Am I gonna see a dude like getting murdered?
We're all like Fred Savage and Princess Bride. Like, Jesus, Grandpa, why'd you bring me to this?
Yeah.
It was, dude. And then of
100%,
course,
man.
the next few scenes actually kind of set up the movie. We get the scene that it takes place in the Dominican Republic, I guess near some blood diamond mine. And like the weasel lawyer is basically talking about John Hammond and the other characters we're about to see, just giving some exposition. And evidently we learn that Hammond needs scientists, the guy that owns the park, John Hammond, to come in and give it the thumbs up so that he doesn't lose his funding from the company. And so now we have a reason for the other characters to come to the island, and it all happens. And we see the little mosquito or whatever it was in amber, which they talk about later on. And then immediately we cut to Montana, where Dr. Grant and his hot piece Ellie are working at a fresh dig site. And a conversation between these two reveals Dr. Grant, of course, hates kids, and he immediately finds some little shit that wanders on the dig site. And for absolutely no reason, it just dunks on his ass.
Or maybe across the belly, spilling your intestines. Point is, you are alive when they start to eat you.
And that kid has sucked in every role that he's ever been in.
Yeah, I hate his face. Maybe that's what he's supposed to have.
He was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and he sucked in that, and everybody probably remember him from Full House when he played that duck-faced kid, whatever.
Yes, yeah, hated that kid. God,
the duck-faced kid. I
the
forgot
only
about
thing that would make that like scene any better is if like Dr. Grant actually gutted that little shit in front of everybody
with a raptor claw in his hand.
Now,
Was that kid in major pain?
No.
No, but he was a major pain.
Yeah. Now, if you are that kid that played him, tell us in the comments why you suck so much ass.
And then when you're done with that, sponsor our podcast.
What was his name? I'm looking for him in the cast. I can't find him.
His name's like Whit Hartford or something like that.
Whit Hartford?
Just scroll through until you find the bug eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a picture of him.
It's a shit emoji.
Yeah, that's
his IMDb.
That kid sucked.
But like that, also that whole that scene where he's really Dr. Grant's really setting up what like velociraptors do, and I guess I didn't pick it up the first time I watched it because I was just like, what the fuck is going on? But the fact that he like calls the shot on how the raptors hunt, like which sets up the clever girl scene later on.
It's a bit of foreshadowing you didn't expect, right? Like he explains how they hunt, and then the scene actually they use the exact same scene like later on. Which we'll talk about when Ozzy's slouch hat dies. But it's like, dude, this shit is so cool, dude.
Did you catch the part where it's Sam Neill, right? The actor.
Yeah, Sam Neill.
So he looks over at Ellie when she's kind of like crouched down with her little khaki shorts on, and he's like, "Not all these bones are fossilized."
Yeah, I don't remember that. I think that's the director's cut.
Yeah. Oh, it might be. I did a lot of research behind the scenes, so maybe.
It was an excellently acted scene, nonetheless.
Yes. Excellent.
Richard Attenborough, aka John Hammond, flies in on his helicopter like Elon Musk, and he basically bribes them to like come to the Dino Park.
Dude, how about like when he flies out of the helicopter, it shows how meticulous they're like trying to preserve these bones, and it's just blowing all this shit away from all this work these dudes have been doing for like fucking months, and he's just like, let me just sit down right here and fuck up your old dig site.
And then he breaks into the trailer and just starts drinking their shit like out of their refrigerator.
But today, I guarantee it.
It's a baller move, man. I mean,
we get to see a scene basically to understand how science works. You basically just pay the scientists for any outcome that you want to hear, and that's exactly what he does. Like he's like, "I'll fund your dig site for 3 years. You just got to come to my."
You just have to say that this vaccine works.
That was weird. So the next, so off they go, right? They're down for it. So like Shadwick said, Sam Neill plays Dr. Grant, Lauren Dern plays Ellie Hotpiece, and they're just, you know what I mean? They're off and running. The next scene,
we kind of talked off air about it. I don't know if it's just the her kind of being a nerd, just kind of sexy or whatever. I don't know. She was really doing it for me on the rewatch. I was like, I didn't really pick it up when I was a kid.
Yeah. The creepy thing about it is Alan Grant's like 45 and she's 25, or Sam Neill is 45.
Well, I mean, you kind of see that later on in life with like everybody that's old and has a weird hobby, and they can get them a young girl that's dumb enough to fall for it.
I made up this really good backstory where he was like her professor and she was 12.
Yeah.
Did you also see that in the behind the scenes? You and Shadwick watched that, right?
Yeah, I think the kids call it grooming nowadays. They call it cruising.
Some people call it cruising. Me, I call it looking for a friend. Are you my friend, Brent?
No. She did look a lot older though, than 25.
Yeah.
I can't believe she was 25 years old, kid. That's wild.
Yeah, but you don't want a 30-year-old girl playing a 30-year-old girl.
Well, Hollywood
that's getting pretty close to the expiration date on women.
In Hollywood, 100%.
Oh, in life.
Oh yeah, well, you know.
The crazy thing is, Richard Attenborough was only 18 when he made this.
He looked really old. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next scene, one of everyone's favorite scene, been memed to death. Even if you've never seen the movie, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you've never seen it, you recognize the scene. We're taken to San Jose, Costa Rica, and fat computer nerd Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Nedry, played by Wayne Knight, is being
Hello,
bribed.
Newman.
Yep.
Can we just call, for my sake, can we just call him Newman so I'll know who?
Yeah,
so
we'll
I'll
call
know
him Newman.
Yeah.
That's his name in the movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's Newman.
Yeah. So Newman, played by Wayne Knight, which is a badass name for a fat goofy nerd, as being bribed by a competing company, you would assume, to smuggle dino embryos out of Jurassic Park. Dodson, I guess, is his only scene. The guy who's bribing him.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here. See, nobody cares.
Yeah. Everyone's laughing because Nedry's a big fat loser, but
he is a big fat loser. But he's just the classic bad guy too. Like he's just so brash when he goes in there because he's like, no one knows who we are here.
Yeah, like he thinks he's the smartest man in the room, and because he was a computer science nerd in college, and he made fun of me, and he just thinks he's the shit, and that's why he dies in this film. Because
and he hates Jerry Seinfeld.
Hello, Newman.
Should have talked shit.
You never actually see him die, so he might still be out there.
Yeah, he could be okay.
I mean, that's true.
Oh man,
that's true.
Oh, that's an idea for a sequel. That might be a sequel I'd actually watch.
The Revenge of Newman.
I've not seen the past, I don't know, 14 of these.
What if Newman earned their trust?
Then breed with their women, and in time, our differences will be forgotten.
There's just Dilophosaurus Newmans everywhere.
Yeah, that Dilophosaurus was like, you know what? I am stupid. I'm gonna go get that stick.
Yeah, Dilophosaurus looks at Newman's like,
I bet that tastes good.
all right,
and if you remember that scene, all that like how that water's like rushing like frothy ejaculate.
God, can we go an episode without
mentioning that, please? We're getting to that. We're getting to that scene.
Yeah.
Basically, the paleontologists, Dr. Grant and Hot Piece Ellie, the mathematician Malcolm, of course, played by none other than the illustrious Jeff Goldblum, and the sleazy lawyer, who I'm not even going to dignify that guy by calling him out. Yeah. David,
I think he's the hero. Once again, the hero of this movie. He is the best character that there is.
Is his name De Niro? It's a real lawyer name.
It is. I thought it was Gennaro or some shit like that, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
There's a good bit of foreshadowing in that helicopter scene too, with the seat belts. Whenever they're trying to put the seat belts on, there's two female ends that Dr. Grant can't get, so he ends up tying them together.
Yeah.
What?
Found a way.
Oh, that's like the it's like the DNA with the.
I never picked that up. Nice.
Good
I
kids.
did not. No one would have recognized.
That's all I'm here for. I'm out of here now.
It's like that's the one gym I had. I'm out.
Is he smart?
So we they're flying on the helicopter, like Gibbs said. There's that scene, and then of course they land on the island. It doesn't waste any time. The movie basically doesn't waste any time. And the dinosaurs make their first appearance on the screen. And you can go back and you little shits, you little Zoomer shits, you better not be in the fucking comments making fun of this, because this was top of the line CGI before it was ever overused.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
It was ever like this. So seeing the dinosaurs for the first time, I'd like to hear each of your experiences. For me, it was absolute awe. Like it
Same
was
here.
The musical score playing, everything was flawless.
For me, stunned. Like I was expecting. I mean, we'd seen previews, so we kind of knew what to expect a little bit. But going from the claymation shit that was popular in the 80s to this was such a leap. And I know that, we'll get into it, but they had life-size T-Rexes and, life-size parts of dinosaurs. But when I saw it on screen, I was like, that's fucking real. That's what I
deal with this stuff at work like all the time, like matching up colors, putting like different objects into different images, and I watched this just a couple days ago, and it really does, like it tracks, like everything looks good. The only thing I noticed, there were two little scenes. One of them was that first one where they see the brontosaurus, and it's only like the landscape shot, the far out
Where
shot.
they're showing like them out of the water, coming out of the water. And stuff.
Yeah, like we can see the full body of the dinosaur. You can tell that that's green screen, and it's just the saturation is just slightly off between where the people are and the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But it's as far as the movement of the dinosaurs.
But I mean,
everything looked great.
Also, back, I mean, this is before we're watching shit now in like 1080p, 4K. Like, you know, that wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I mean,
but to me, like I said, I haven't watched the last couple of these movies, but I did watch the one with like the first one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know. I think when they go full CGI, you kind of lose something.
Yeah, I agree.
It
Because
just doesn't
this
look tangible. It's not.
This one looks so much more real to me.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it blew my mind the first time I saw this. Like, I spit freaking acid all over the guy in front of me. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, no, it really did blow my mind. And with John Williams' score over it, it just like
perfect.
made you feel awe. Like you were just witnessing something.
And Spielberg was great too at picking like certain angles. Like I said, the one thing that kind of stood out to me just a little bit was just that wide pan of a shot,
sweeping shot.
But he did a lot of like, you know, the camera's low, like looking up at the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they were kind of obstructed a little bit by something in the foreground. I mean, it was brilliant the way it was shot.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, I just remember with with that score, and like also that's they're starting to realize that a lot of the research they've done too is like true, and like when they move in herds or whatever. Like
They do move in herds.
I told you guys I have that line pop in my head about once a week when I go to the track and those women are like taking up the full track. I always walking the opposite direction you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And
like 1,000-pound sisters.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude. You two are horrible human beings.
I can't help it. I'm addicted. I'm an addict.
I mean, some might argue that they're horrible human beings.
Probably would.
I think we're doing it right.
Yeah.
So we get that. So we all agree. Like this scene is a masterpiece. Yeah, and like Gibbs said, I'm pretty sure Gibbs mentioned it. Like they also later on in the movie use practical effects to like great effect as well. Like so, it's a mix. And like you can't obviously do that scene with practical effects, or it would be $1 billion probably back then.
Well, if there was one director that would try to do it, it would be Spielberg.
And it would be true. Yeah. And it wouldn't have looked as good. Like I maintain, like it was just they knew how to use CGI before it got out of hand, right? Like this is before George Lucas got his fat sausage fingers on it and did a whole Star Wars with it.
Yeah.
Gibbs, did this put the claymation guy out of business?
Yeah, actually, Phil Tippett, the guy that did RoboCop, like all the animation of RoboCop and Empire Strikes Back, he was hired for this, and they did animatics, and he was originally going to do the stop motion until ILM came in and kind of took the job. They still kept Phil Tippett in, and he used like this robot to do stop motion that helped create the movement of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I've seen. I'll try to splice that in if I can find footage of it. But it's like he more or less shot claymation scenes.
Like a couple of storyboard.
Right. So he did like storyboards of like the kitchen scene, I think.
Yeah.
And they had one of the T-Rex outside the car, and it would just, no emotion on it would just be like a clay figure, just to be like, hey, a person's here. Here's the dinosaur walking up and everything like. So that makes sense.
I would like to know how much that kitchen scene, especially, how much of that was CGI and how much of that was like practical, like animatronics, because
most of it was practical.
So fucking good.
Yeah. So
most of it's practical, and that's part of the brilliance of it is they used CGI only when necessary.
One scene, or just a little clip that kind of made my arm hairs stick up, was when the Raptor was looking through the little window. And he breathes and like fogs up the window.
Yeah.
I was like, woo.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Made my butthole clench up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely looks like something that would tear you to shreds. So it was exciting. So yeah. So this is I'm glad we paused for a minute to talk about the effects, because like honestly, they're insanely amazing. Like,
Yeah.
there's just not even a question.
Yeah,
like,
big shout
how-
out to Stan Winston and his creatures and that he made. He's a legend in the industry.
And I know we're not
Rest in
there.
peace.
We're not there in the story yet, but there's the scene where the Triceratops is laying down, sick, and like Sam Neill like lays his head on its stomach, and you see it breathing and everything. I was like, God damn, it looks real.
I saw like some behind the scenes stuff on that too, like how they made that. It's fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
Like,
so what they did was they spliced blood from ember into like a regular embryo, and they cloned dinosaurs to make that effect.
Well,
really?
Huh.
Yeah. In
Hey,
fact,
I gotta say, when they show the video, like, so the dude's name is the owner. What's his name? Hammond.
Yeah.
He has everybody in this little theater, and he's playing this. I actually really enjoy that scene because it reminds me of what was it called not Old School Rock. What was it on ABC? It was
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Animation. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It is very Schoolhouse Rock-esque, and that's actually the very next scene, because everyone wonders how the fook that, like, John Hammond has dinosaurs. Like, how the hell is this even possible?
I love too the little he has the shit plan. It kind of reminds me of the scene from Role Models, where Jane Lynch is first, they're at Sturdy Wings, and then she comes out from behind the TV like. Like, and she's on the TV, and she's like,
obviously we're not supposed to butt fuck these kids.
So like that's how it was. Like, he missed his cue, and he's like, oh, I've got lines, and he like pulls out, like starts doing his thing or whatever.
John, that hurt.
Okay, just thinking about that though, there's no way the owner of the park is going to be there for every fucking tour.
Oh,
so
no.
they have to have some guy named Dave that's also
Yeah.
doing it, and it's like, hello, Dave, and he's like, oh, fuck you, Dave.
Dave, that hurt.
Dave.
I realized it was a ride too, but I was like, I thought the exact same thing, Gibbs, because I was like, okay, so he has this presentation set up to kind of sell the park, I guess, to these people,
Yeah.
and I'm like, is this supposed to be part of the ride, or is he just doing it just for these people, like, who, you know what I mean, who are just
No, I think
who are just trying to
No.
I think that's supposed to be part of the experience for
the
everybody.
ride?
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, so yeah, it's kind of silly. Then.
You're obviously
All
not
rich
supposed
people like attention, so he's just like, everybody's got to pay attention to me, motherfuckers.
to. He did. He pricked his own finger. That hurt, John.
He did, and we get
So-
He's like, stop being a pussy, John.
so he takes
And is it him doing the narration where he keeps saying dinosaur?
No, that's someone
no,
else.
it's
Yeah,
he
That's
says
somebody
who
from
it is.
Schoolhouse Rock.
it is.
And so yeah,
They're about
Mr.
to do their
DNA,
times tables.
Yeah.
Mr. DNA is who everyone's talking about. So Hammond takes them on a little ride. It's like a theme park ride. It's really weird. And they have this animation with Mr. DNA, and he explains exactly how
We use the complete DNA of a frog to fill in the holes and complete the code.
and finish the gene sequence.
Yeah,
they clone dinosaur
they-
blood from old mosquitoes.
And this scene is this small snippet of a scene is the reason that at nauseum we'll be saying dinosaurs for the rest of the episode. So you can thank them for this.
This is also like the as far into the movie that my dad ever got, because he always fell asleep when Mr. DNA was talking. So the second he'd start talking, my dad's like,
He fall asleep in the theater.
yeah, hell yeah.
Really?
No,
did,
that's
he,
not
did, he,
correct.
did he wake up when the T-Rex was like fucking roaring and scaring the shit out of everybody?
Yeah, and he was like, will you guys keep it down? God damn it, I'm trying to sleep.
So as Gibbs mentioned before, all the dinosaurs evidently are supposed to be genetically female, and and
so
Malcolm,
they can't breed.
Right.
So they can't breed, right? And so that they can control their population and have their pets spayed and neutered.
Damn it, I hate that Bob Barker.
You would think they'd make them all male though. Like I know they'll be more aggressive, but they won't fucking be crazy.
And suddenly Malcolm turns into the mathematician. Turns into an evolutionary biologist and starts like spouting off about how life will find a way, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I don't know what the hell he knows about it, but he's basically just there to kind of be like the moralist, like,
So he's
and
a
yell.
chaos theory though, right? like he was trying to. He brought him in.
The lawyer brought him, I'm pretty sure,
to give them like, scenarios of like, well, this could happen, maybe, I don't know.
Well,
they just wanted a reason to have Jeff Goldblum in the movie.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that because
same here.
I mean, if he was Dinosaur, he'd be a Studosaurus fucks.
100%.
So he's basically warning them already that this is a bad idea. He's immediately a naysayer, and he's funny, so everybody's laughing. He's Jeff Goldbluming all over this movie the entire time. And that's when we get to the scene with Velociraptor feeding the first one. Now you still don't get to see the Velociraptors, which is wise filmmaking on their
you only got
part.
like the eye shot in the opening scene, right? Like you get to see
Yes.
her eye or whatever. I was thinking just practically when they were lowering it down with the leather straps and everything, I was like, God damn, they got to replace that every time they feed these motherfuckers. Because maybe there's a more efficient way to do it. Look, I wasn't invited on the ride to be a scientist to tell you, but I can tell you, you can increase profit margins by finding a different way to lower the cow down in there.
Also, what's the point of having these things if they're in a cage that you can't see them in?
So here, they actually talk about it. So in the movie, Slouch Hat Ozzy reappears. He's back, and he actually explains exactly what you guys are asking. He says that that wasn't the initial intention. They meant to allow the Velociraptors to go out and just be in the park with the rest of the dinosaurs and have their own paddock and all of that stuff. But for some reason, that one Velociraptor, the one in the beginning, the female, was like kills a bunch of the other dinosaurs that won't follow her, and gets a group, and she has them like attacking the fences, so they separate her. And he was like, now we have to feed her this way because she's literally, we should kill her, but Hammond won't let me kill her because she is just dangerous. Like, she is trying to legitimately think her way out of the cage and get out. And
she's like Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, and she's all that. She's just a mean girl.
Yeah.
Like, basically,
none of you follow me, fuck you, kill you all.
He tells them that this is that. So Chris is right, it would be more efficient. Well, that's not what they were supposed to
That might be a
doing
reach.
anyways.
Yeah.
They just have to feed her
Were you guys really aware of Velociraptors before this movie? I mean,
No, I'd never heard of them.
I was aware that they existed, but like I never
never
knew.
even heard it. I may have originally thought that they made that up for this movie because I'd never heard of it.
I'd heard of them. I was like real nerdy into dinosaurs, so I knew like they existed, but like I didn't know. I never would have made them like villain number one in a fucking movie. So
you know what? I just
kudos
thought
to Michael Crichton for that. I guess.
I always liked the Stegosaurus, and that was not in this movie.
Yeah, actually, I read the book like when I was a teenager, so I might be off on this, but I think I remember the sick dinosaur was actually a Stegosaurus in the book, and it wasn't a Triceratops. But I'm guessing like it was probably cheaper just to do a Triceratops, and I think Steven Spielberg's favorite dinosaur was a Triceratops, so he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going with the Triceratops, motherfuckers."
The only three. So I had never heard of any of the dinosaurs except for like I knew what a Brontosaurus was, and I knew what a T-Rex was, and a Triceratops. Those are like the main three I feel like the public all recognize and knew.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why they use those a lot in this, but there was others that made
It's
an appearance.
it's a Brachiosaurus. It's not a Brontosaurus.
Yeah, Brachiosaurus.
Oh, don't worry.
Everybody, go down in the comments and tell us how dumb Leaf is.
You dumb bastard.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they're all fucking chickens now because they ruined my childhood. But anyway, go ahead.
Some of them are parakeets.
So, of course, the next scene, Hammond's grandkids show up because we all know dinosaurs love eating fresh young meat. So they're there.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I think that's the one big mistake from this movie is they should have killed off one of those kids right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that the entire time you're just guessing like, oh shit, they killed the kid. Who else is gonna fucking die?
One of them just gets offed as they walk. Actually, they just get sniped. They're like, oh, we thought it was a dinosaur.
Slouch Hat Ozzy just guns them down.
Yeah.
One of them.
Clever girl.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Oh, screw. I didn't mean to kill her.
Sorry, man. And so they're off to the scientists, the kids, all go on the dinosaur tour, another ride that's basically got Elon Musk's Tesla Jeeps that are electric and riding on it's like they're on a rail, but they're not, but they're electric cars. And they're supposed to you're supposed to just sit in the car. The idea, obviously, on the ride is it just goes around the park and you get to sit in the car safely, and watch the dinosaurs. We find out that the computer systems are shit.
Yes.
Because Hammond spared no expense, as it says multiple times in this movie, except for on labor costs and the technology that would have saved everyone's lives. So that expense was indeed spared. Yeah. So shitty computer system. And we get to see Nedry again, right? I'm sorry, Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Newman, yes.
Yeah, he's the head computer tech there, and he's just an absolute fucking asshole.
Yeah, he sucks.
A complete dickhead. We also see Samuel L. Jackson, who is another computer nerd, but of course more cool because he's Samuel L. Jackson. So even though he's a computer nerd, he's still he's
still a badass. Yeah,
of course he is. Without a shadow of a doubt.
How are these motherfucking dinosaurs in this motherfucking island?
Yeah.
He was, dude. He would smoke his cigarettes in this movie to the fucking filter, and even rewatching the movie, I was still disgusted and intrigued.
And he's always talking with the cigarette, hanging out.
Yeah,
you're just barely
just
out of the
fucking
side
awesome.
Of
Give me more Samuel L.
We're also treated to the scene with the sick Triceratops, of course. Which
I
is,
got a clip for that one. Obviously, iconic line.
Yes.
That is one big pile of shit.
And I lost my mind when I saw it.
I did too. I was like, I laughed so fucking hard in theaters. Like, just give me a shit or a damn or whatever, man. Like, as a kid, sign me up.
And it was a big pile of doo-doo, so all the boys were immediately laughing and intrigued.
I missed the next 20 minutes of the movie because I was giggling to myself.
I think I mentioned before we started recording, but there was a scene too where Jeff Goldblum gets in the Jeep with Sam Neill, and they're talking about kids, and Sam Neill asks him if, so are you married? He goes, occasionally.
Yeah,
of course, he's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's Jeff Goldblum. You can't one woman can't hold him down. Are we kidding?
No. Have you seen him with his shirt off? Because you will.
You will.
You will later on. Trust me. They make sure
it's my screensaver on my computer.
Yeah,
always has been.
Well, they made that directorial decision on
I don't know. It is a weird. It pans like he's fucking Burt Reynolds and shit.
Yeah.
Laid out.
And there's
except for the mustache.
Gibbs, correct me. Gibbs, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no gratuitous female shots in this. But the ladies get a little bit of Jeff Goldblum chesticle eye candy, and that's it.
We see all the dinosaurs naked. I think we get our share.
Those are female dinosaurs, or we think they are. So
yeah, I was like, okay,
it's
all
true,
right,
Sandy.
Almost every single time I talk about this movie, because I forget myself. So Hot Piece Ellie gets off the ride. She stays with the Triceratops. So during the scene, and for some reason, even when I watch it, I forget she's not there.
Yeah.
She's not in this.
That's where they kind of get split up, split off, because
she stays there.
And they make a point about how Sam Neill doesn't like kids.
Yeah,
and so the two grandkids show up, and the little boy is just completely taken aback by Sam Neill. I think he's read his book.
He's read his book, and
he knows who he is.
So he's all about the dinosaurs, and he's just following him around, asking questions nonstop.
I love that too. He just can't get away from him. He's like, "Which car are you going in?" He's like, "Whichever one you are."
Yeah. Well, that's I kind of really love that arc, that character arc with Dr. Grant, because he hates kids. He says they smell and everything like that, and then you slowly start seeing him become more and more fond of children, and then you see his in that Triceratops scene, whenever he's lying on him and he's breathing, you see him acting like a child. And
yeah.
And that little kid, Joseph Mazzello, he originally auditioned for Hook, Steven Spielberg.
Oh shit!
He was gonna play Jack, but he ended up being too young. But Steven Spielberg was so taken with him that he was like, "I want to put you in another movie," and he put him in this. And originally, Tim is the older child and Lex is the younger child, but he wanted to put him in as Tim, so he switched the ages of the kids.
Nice.
And,
kid does a great job.
Yeah, he is fantastic.
Yeah, he does a great job in this. Yeah. Both kids do.
So since Hammond wisely put the park in Costa Rica, one might expect that a hurricane-style storm would eventually smash the absolute shit out of this entire park, which is exactly what happens while everyone's out on their little Dino Park tour.
It happened in real life too.
Yeah,
whenever they were filming the movie, they got hit by a hurricane out in Hawaii.
Actually, oh, did they?
Yeah, and they had to they had to all bunker down in like the ballroom or whatever of the hotel.
So the power goes out, the electric fences go down, and ladies and gentlemen, the fun begins.
And because the part of the T-Rex ride is they put a goat out there and they're gonna feed him, so everybody can watch him eat. And then Dr. Grant has that. Isn't it him that says like the T-Rex doesn't want to be fed, wants to hunt?
The goat's like, come closer.
Yeah.
Can't see you.
He's like, the
I
old
can't
man
see you. Come closer.
The old man really fucked up this time.
You button hooked me. I didn't think you were gonna button hook me.
So Newman.
Hello, Newman.
AKA Dennis Nedry betrays everyone. He's stolen the dino embryos, hacked the systems, shut down the electric fences, and is waddling his way to escape on a junk boat.
And this is what's going on to Sam Jackson.
Yeah, cut to Sam Jackson.
See that cigarette too, almost down to the fucking butt.
Funny every time. Why is that funny? I laughed at the fucking theater the first time I saw this, dude.
It's just his inflection and everything. That's him perfecting motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's perfect, dude.
So good. That actor's gone a long way from coming to America.
He really has. He's done a lot of good work.
Yeah. I think he's going to be all right.
He'll be all right, I think. But yeah, man, that's that whole. Actually, I thought it was pretty funny too that old Newman put his head on an Elvis. That's like the little It's like his head on like an Elvis costume body or whatever, and that shit, of course, was stuck in all of our heads for fucking ever. Which actually leads me over to shit stuck in my head this week.
Hey, girl. You hungry?
Fuck you, nigga.
I cannot wait till we do that movie.
Half-Baked, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait till we do Half-Baked. Man, what a classic.
Well, I figured that would be good because, speaking of hungry, the T-Rex was hungry. And he...
So, yeah. Right? So, meanwhile, the tour is stuck dead in the water, obviously, right in front of the T-Rex paddock. And we get the scene, right?
Yeah.
The Jurassic Park scene. And there's a few, actually, from this movie, but this is the one... you get the T-Rex,
the water.
Yeah, you were talking about this on the playground at school.
Oh, absolutely, man.
This is the one.
And so I think that I read or watched a doc that said, because they have the little water, the ripples in the water. I think they said they ended up what they used was like a bass guitar string or something like that.
It was a guitar string. He tried different notes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Finally got the perfect
until
ripple.
they finally and just to me, cool. To me listening to that, I'm like, God damn, like how much detail and shit goes into this, because that's like 3 seconds on screen maybe, and like all this work and effort went into getting that perfect fucking ripple. It's crazy.
But what an iconic scene from that ripple, though. Like,
for sure.
You spent all that money and time and effort and to get it perfectly right, and it's something that you'll never forget as long as you live. Watching that water shake,
the
like,
water
as
shake,
as the T-Rex is coming,
the foot coming down, like that iconic shot of the foot coming down in the mud, the T-Rex foot is like,
and then all of a sudden the storm comes in, everything's shut down, and then I think it's the little girl goes, "Where's the goat?"
Yeah, and then
it turns into a fucking horror movie.
Yes. Yep. Leaf is 100% right. That's in his notes, and it does fucking straight up turn into a horror movie now.
It's unbelievable, man. Like instantly, like you're watching this, especially as a young kid, and you're terrified. Like,
dude.
This thing, the T-Rex, which is
so
your
was this
favorite
movie
dinosaur.
was this movie aimed toward kids? Do you think?
It was PG-13.
I think so. Like, I think the Steven Spielbergness of it made it so that it was supposed to be aimed.
Yeah, that's a good
families.
point.
You put
Yeah.
in kids and stuff like that. Now, originally, the James Cameron had wanted to option this and do it. If James Cameron had a hold of this would be a rated R movie. It would have been like Aliens, you know. Like, it would have been.
The only thing that's kiddie to me is everybody's little like safari outfits that they're wearing.
Well, I mean, like that's like a little uniform, I'm sure too, for like the how it is like the theme parks and shit. Because this is really like a theme park, is what.
And
it's
they're in Costa Rica too. Well, they're supposed to be in Costa Rica, so you're kind of dressed for the weather.
Thought they were
jungle.
I thought they were 300 nautical miles southwest of Fiji.
No, that was a different movie.
Oh.
That was a different movie. Arnold was not there. Although, by the way, I wanted the second Jurassic Park to basically be Arnold and the team from Predator to like go in and fight dinosaurs with guns.
God
I wanted
damn,
that
why
so
didn't that
bad.
get made?
I don't know, man. And like evidently, and maybe Gibbs has read the second book. Like it's close. The second book evidently is closer to that. That like they send in the military to try to like go in.
Yeah,
and, like, dude, that's insane. Can you
But you know
imagine
what?
how good?
They fixed the second book and the second movie really sucked, but the end of the second movie when they have him in the fucking city just on a rampage, that's what I wanted from the Dinosaurs Attack card stuff. Like I wanted people getting ripped apart in public.
Well, that was like your Godzilla shot, right? Like when in number 2 when he's in the. Because I think that was when like Godzilla had yet another resurgence too. And faintly hear in the background the goat be like, "Ooh, the grass is soft." Hey, what the fuck?
So you see the bloody meat, the bloody shank hit the windshield basically, and then like that's when the T-Rex breaks out of the cage.
You start seeing
smashes.
you start seeing the electric fence just start snapping and all that
you
stuff.
get to see a cinematic masterpiece that we talked about, which they do throughout this film, where they mix CGI with practical effects, and it's just done to and they'll switch back and forth, and they're so good at it. It seems it's just seamless.
Yeah, man,
and so
for sure.
the T-Rex comes out and he just absolutely smashes the freaking car the kids are in, because of course they're children, and they're with the lawyer in that car. All the scientists are together, the lawyer's with the kids, and they're freaking out. They're like grabbing a flashlight.
That's man. This scene in the theater was like anxiety on 10. Like when I was watching it, because they can't put the fucking flashlight out. Like they. You already kind of know, I guess, like they hinted earlier that it sees, Dr. Grant talks about it sees motion.
And is that real? Or
I mean, I've never asked.
I guess we don't know for sure, but is that something that was known before this movie, or is that just
it's not
canon?
It's not something that's known. It was something that was theorized in the book because like he didn't know it beforehand. He was being attacked, and Dr. Grant was like, he resigned himself to being eaten. And then the T-Rex didn't eat him, and so he was like, "Oh, I guess he can't see me because I'm standing still." And that was just an assumption made. In the second book, he says that Dr. Grant's full of shit, and the reason why the T-Rex didn't eat him was because he was full from a lawyer.
I mean,
well, in
the book, there's 2 T-Rexes, not just one.
Yeah.
In the movie, like he hadn't killed anyone yet. He just ate the goat. So, and that's actually what's like in the movie. I really like it because the scientists are all in. They're sitting still, of course, and Dr. Grant's kind of explaining. So you're learning about the T-Rex like in real time as it's there, and he's just like, sit still, don't move, right? Like he can't. His vision's move like based on movement. Just sit real still, we'll be fine. Like he'll probably just walk right past. And then in the other car, the kids start freaking out and thrashing. And so you have this panic moment where you're like, oh, God, they're supposed to sit still. And, of course, they're children, so they're not going to sit still. And the lawyer's stupid, so the other car doesn't know. There's no power. There's no communication between the cars.
Lawyer was actually kind of just like, hey, guys, this is what's happening with your parents' divorce. And it is your fault.
It was. They're going to say it's not your fault, but it 100% was.
And those goggles are heavy. So that means they're expensive. So put them down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's doing classic lawyer shit. And speaking of lawyer shit, he actually was just like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here," and he just bounces to go to the little bathroom area.
He was like, "God, those enchiladas, man."
Yeah.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Great. It was a great scene because, like, you were already like freaking out, and it helped break the tension.
Oh yeah, break the tension and reset.
Oh my
it.
god!
Yeah.
Like at that point, I'm shitting myself. The guy in front of me is covered in acid already, and I'm like screaming in his ear.
This is an iconic movie theater moment for Gibbs, man. I mean, he's just handling business.
It was Gibbs' first fear boner too. I think he said.
It's actually the first time my parents let me out of the house. So.
Out of the basement, yeah.
Yeah.
So the T-Rex smashes up the kids.
You had a house.
The T-Rex smashes up the kid's car, beats up Malcolm, and eats the sleazy lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all absolute pandemonium.
Rest in peace, Gennaro. He's my favorite character.
And the like in the book they talk about like how he just ripped the lawyer in fucking half. Like it was way bloodier in the book, but like,
dude, he straight eats him, man. Off
Oh,
the
dude,
toilet.
that was terrifying. I promise. I remember this, watching this in the theater, and kind of being in denial about what just happened.
Yeah.
Because it was so shocking to me. I was like, what?
Well, the T-Rex does like the little head thing with the lawyer in his mouth, like. So you know he's like ripping him in half, like.
And obviously this whole thing was real, and so they killed a guy to make this movie.
This is the second guy that's been killed making
the
this
second
movie.
dude, man.
Yeah.
Remember what was his
T-Rex
name?
is like, I'm going to run a train on. I'm going to run a train on this lawyer. Just
gonna be like.
And so Joffrey's dead. The lawyer's dead in real life. The T-Rex is just is on an absolute rampage, and he decides that.
Tony Robbins hungry.
So he goes back for Dr. Grant and knocks the car off the ledge in the scene, and the kids and the lawyer barely
leading
manage
up
escape.
to knocking the car off was fucking great too, because like the car's upside down, and
yes,
Tim, the little kid, I think he's still trapped in the car.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant's trying to get him out, and the T-Rex keeps he'll hit the car from one side and it'll spin, and Dr. Grant's like crouched down behind it, so he's moving along with the car as it's spinning, like back and forth, trying to not get knocked off the ledge.
Again, this whole scene, and I don't even know how long it is, but it is anxiety at 10, this entire scene.
And this is how good of a movie maker Steven Spielberg is, because it doesn't make sense. The scene does not make sense at all if you think about it, but you're so invested in this, because how the hell did the T-Rex get over that ledge and get up there to begin with?
Yeah.
Because the ledge didn't exist until now. It was just like, oh
Right.
shit, you know what we should do? We should have a fucking ledge, you know?
Because
So
like
it doesn't make sense, but it's still just, you're so into this freaking scene, and you're so terrified in what's going on that you're not even thinking about that when you're watching.
And
it.
like,
I guess I always thought the housing area was on the other side of the road from the ledge.
Yeah,
that was just my assumption.
You see him come out of where that ledge is, though.
Yeah.
So like
He comes straight out because you see his claw. He like claws down and then breaks the fence, and he's coming straight out. So that means he would have had to have been standing on that ledge. But it's like, how did he climb up like the smooth area? Yeah, it's
because they have long arms.
Yeah,
they can
the
reach
T-Rex
up.
has good climbing arms, you know.
Yeah,
but that
And he's
also,
hungry.
I mean, it gives you that like, because you think like when they finally get over the ledge, you're like, okay, they've escaped the T-Rex, and then like the car starts coming down after him, and so it's even more like anxiety and chase scene.
And the kid is
he's
there's
still
a
in
kid
the
in the car.
Yeah,
that kid is still
in that car
on the escalator.
He almost got caught in a bloodbath ensued. So
He did. He nearly did. So they get away. So the car crashes, and you don't know if Tim is alive or dead. But Dr. Grant and the young girl get away. She's screeching, of course.
Yeah.
And so
they're hanging by one of the fence cables.
Yeah.
Like fucking ROTC. They're like crawling down this.
Rappelling down it?
They're rappelling, but the car's above them. Like, so they're looking up and they're running back and forth trying to get out of the path of the falling car.
It's beautiful. And as y'all stated, it's an absolute horror movie. The intensity is just nonstop from this point going forward until we get a break a little bit later on. But
and Jeff Goldblum is also in the second vehicle. He
Yes,
he got
that
out and he had a.
He's essentially the reason the lawyer dies,
What's it called?
right?
What's it called? Like
The
a
flare.
A flare, yeah.
I don't really like talking about my flare.
But he's waving back and forth, just trying to get the dinosaur away from the kids.
And as the T-Rex crashes through the bathroom, you see Malcolm sort of like get knocked, like he gets thrown.
He gets covered with the branches, so like he's covered up, so the
and
T-Rex
unconscious.
doesn't see him.
Yeah.
And then what's more delicious than a lawyer taking a shit? I mean,
Nothing.
You're not going to do that.
He's not taking a shit. He's just sitting there cowering.
He's taking a shit.
He's taking
You
a
do not
shit.
sit- They didn't have cell phones to scroll through back then. He was taking a shit.
He had a newspaper in his hand.
He didn't have his pants down. But he was definitely shitting.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
It's beautiful because in that scene where the T-Rex knocks the bathroom down and Malcolm gets covered in the debris, so he's injured but safe, and like the entire bathroom gets knocked
Falls
down
away.
except for that one toilet and the guy sitting on it, like in the stall.
He should have been standing there.
It's just wondrous. It's wondrous. So we're straight on full on horror moment. Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Newman.
Yeah, what's going on
gets-
with him? How's his
Dude, he's-
quest going?
And so, of course, we all know what happens to poor Newman. The Dilophosaurus shoots acid in his eyes, not unlike Gibbs did on the back of that guy's head in the theater.
Yeah. And after he shoots that shit in his face, I puked on the guy who's lost his head from the acid.
This guy's having an awful.
He's having an awful movie experience.
He's dead at this point, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's be real.
His head was gone. It was just an open neck, and and Gibbs puked right into his open neck.
Yeah. So like the Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus means two-crested lizard or some shit like that. But the spitting thing was invented by Michael Crichton. Like that was just a storytelling thing that he came up with. And then the frills were made up by the guys in the movie. So like what everybody, even now you still see the Dilophosaurus pictured that way in everything that comes out.
Yeah.
But it was only invented for this movie in the book.
I didn't know that.
A real
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that's actually in my notes. That version of the Dilophosaurus was not real. And if you notice though too, like, does anybody notice the rattlesnake noise it made when the visuals come out? That makes me laugh every time. Like I didn't obviously notice it in the theater.
It didn't make me laugh the first time I saw it because I was like,
I was busy puking on the guy in front of me.
It was terrifying, dude. It was absolutely horrific. That thing was so scary, and I feel like they used the rattlesnake. Like that noise is just a terrifying noise to all human beings.
Yeah,
and since we're in the middle of a horror movie now,
well, it's just
that's very
it catches
true.
you off guard because he's talking to it like a dog, like and it's kind of looking at him like it's kind of like
curious,
innocent, it's curious, you know, just like a little puppy would.
Flips that switch,
and then all of a sudden those things like pop out, and it was terrifying.
On him. Yeah.
That's nasty.
Poor
and
guy.
you could hear it burning. Yeah, that poor dude.
And again, to my earlier point, that's why you should have made them all male instead of females because they will just fucking flip on you like that.
Like a switch.
You don't even know what you did. I didn't do anything. I mean, can we have a fucking conversation? Like, if you can calm down and just tell me what I did.
Listen to the woman, John. Calm down. Just calm down. Well, Newman found out, so he's dead.
So he's
what
dead.
Newman was supposed to do was lay down and expose his belly.
All he has to say is, "This is my fault. Like, I'm sorry. I messed up."
He should have said, "This is my fault. Now tell me more about the women at work you don't like."
Yeah, you're obviously not like your mother. That's just something I said when I was mad.
Yeah.
Our two female listeners have now officially
left the
vacated.
chat.
Yeah, they have left the chat.
Chatty, no.
The action is still not over. At Hot Piece Ellie is still at the home base with Aussie Slouch Hat, and Dr. Jones decides, not Dr. Jones, excuse me, Dr. Hammond.
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones.
You call me Dr. Jones, dog. Okay.
Why couldn't we had short round in this movie?
Damn it, man.
You should have had a
Damn
cameo.
it, Steven.
He was
John
doing
Hammond
calculations.
tells Ozzy and Ellie to go and rescue the grandchildren, and they get in a gas-powered Jeep and they go looking for them. And that's when we get T-Rex take 2.
Yeah.
When Ellie and Ozzy are basically looking for the children, they realize they're nowhere to be found. Assumedly, they escaped. There's evidence that they've escaped.
And what's the lawyer's name again?
Gennaro. Yeah.
So that one dude goes, I think this is Gennaro, and she goes, and Hot Piece Ellie goes, I think this is too.
Yeah.
And they're like 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's pieces of Gennaro. They he's dead, and then they find Malcolm buried underneath the shit, and they immediately put a tourniquet on him without doing any medical examination.
Jackie's teammates doing just an awful job of stabilizing his spine.
He's like, remind me to thank John for a lovely weekend.
Yeah.
He's barely conscious.
He's still just being a cool asshole.
Hey, that's a good point, Shabak, and Gibbs mentioned it too. When there's little one-liners to kind of break up the horrificness of this movie, where everybody's kind of like making jokes.
Arnold talks about that a lot in his book, like his one-liners, like in his movies and shit, were kind of in there to break up the action. It would be like high, action, and then he would do a one-liner, and then it would kind of reset everybody or bring it back down, and then you can go back up again.
One of my favorite Arnold movies, I think I've said before, is True Lies. Like, it's a comedy action, I guess, but it's great.
Yeah.
No, it is, and I think that even Shakespearean wise, there was always that comic relief, right? And like I think in the future,
like Shakespeare in Love.
Hey, girl, I'm in the movie. Shakespeare in Love.
Like A2 Brute.
Yeah, you'd always have like a scene to kind of like after something really scary, horrific, to kind of break it up. But I mean, I think that like this is something a little different when Steven Spielberg was able to interject those bits of comedy to try to snap people out just a little bit, and it really does help break it up, because that scene where the T-Rex first comes out, it's nonstop action and death. Like, just if we're on a PG-13,
and like the music
movie.
too. Like I going back now, like I can finally like compartmentalize what's going on and I'm just not lost in the moment. But like the score during all that stuff really sets the mood for everything, and it's just the whole thing is just perfect.
So, John Williams, like his music is just. I mean, you know him from Superman, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. Like, oddly enough, he always has lyrics for like his iconic themes. Like in Indiana Jones, like the lyrics were Indiana Jones, Indiana. I'm not saying they're good lyrics, but he has lyrics for them. So you know what the lyrics were for this movie?
Hunger Games, Hunger Games.
No.
Oh.
Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones.
I mean, it makes sense,
I didn't say he was a good lyricist. I just said
he just has lyrics. That's understandable.
Sometimes they're repetitive.
He just throws them in. This is, I mean, it's part of his genius. You know what I mean?
It jizz what it jizz.
So they find Malcolm. They strap him up.
They say strap in or strap on.
Yeah, the paleontologist is immediately, and we get yet another famous scene.
Dude, this scene.
T-Rex is coming back.
Yeah,
you can hear him stomping. And at this point in time, this is the cool part about this scene to me. It's him now. Like now that sound of him stomping is iconic. He's coming.
And Malcolm knows too, because he sees the puddle start
like,
shaking. He's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go now.
Yeah,
must go faster.
Must go faster. Was this the first?
Which one of you wants to be the lure this time? Shit.
That's what I'm gonna do. Shit." So is this the first little rearview mirror joke? Because I know like Ace Ventura had one in there.
It's the first one I remember.
Because Ace Ventura was after this, though.
Warning! Assholes are closer than they appear.
Yes, but objects, are closer than they appear.
Yeah,
which is funny as they're looking back as the T-Rex is coming in, which is yet another one of those jokes. Like in the middle of the action, it's just
scene.
and it works. And it's
they said
funny.
They say that they had clocked the T-Rex at 32 miles an hour,
something like that.
There's debris. The storm has kind of calmed down at this point in time, but there's debris in the road, and like they're kind of crashing, and like that gives the T-Rex is smashing the debris as he's running, so that kind of gives you that that
Yeah.
moment. Like they can't really drive as fast as they could.
There's like a whole like fallen tree, and
He, like,
they
busts
drive. Yeah, they drive under it, and he's running and like just crashes, fucking busts through this. It's another
Like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's that scene's really really cool, and yeah, there's just like more intensity.
Did we all get that the way you wanted, Gibbs?
That sounded great, man.
Did you like that? Okay, good.
You
Glad we
liked
all
that?
did it. So finally, we get a break in the action, ladies and gentlemen. We get the scene where Dr. Grant's in the jungle with the kids, and as we've all mentioned before, he hates kids. But this is a big character development moment for him. He's finally learning to bond. He's saved their lives.
They're going up in a tree to sleep for the night or whatever, and we get
so they don't get killed by
these
the park.
wonderful jokes. I think I have a clip of this.
What do you call a blind dinosaur?
What?
I don't know. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Do you think he saw us?
I remember that scene. That's much better than I remember, dude. I hate that scene, bro. I was about to be like, why did you clip this, dude? I hate that, bro.
Yeah, you know, at the end of that scene, he tosses down the little raptor, the hook. I would have just tossed the kid off the fucking tree.
Like,
Yeah, just
nope. See ya.
There'll be no witnesses if I was in charge there. I mean, the Raptors are just the worst.
I kept thinking that since he had that claw, like in that first scene before he ever gets picked up, like I thought that was going to play a part later in the movie. Like I thought he was going to save somebody with it or something, you know.
It did. It served the function of him throwing it down in frustration after those fucking jokes.
It's like, I mean, I think it's kind of like the point it served though is like fossils and shit don't mean anything anymore. Like, that his entire career is nothing now because they're
It's
back.
nothing. Yeah, and he was fascinated because he loved dinos and stuff so much, but he even mentions that when they're touring before they go on the death tour. He's like, dude, I guess we're out of a job now. Like, because he realizes, like, what good are paleontologists when dinosaurs exist?
Yep.
But I mean, you know.
Malcolm says, don't you mean extinct, which is a phrase that Steven Spielberg used from Phil Tippett whenever he saw the animation for the first time. He's like, shit, I think we're extinct.
So we got
poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
We also get the scene where Hot Piece Ellie is talking to John Hammond about
funny every time.
It's talking to John Hammond about the park, and he's eating all the ice cream because the whole system is down. Nedry's dead. They don't know how to get it back on.
Ice cream.
Yeah. And he's just like, the next time we'll get the park right. She's like, there is no next time. They're out there in the jungle. And they're like, so there's that serious moment too, where they're basically having like a heart to heart. John Hammond hasn't given it up yet. He's like, we'll get it fixed. And his grandkids are out there getting ripped apart for all he knows. So it's like more character development for him because he still hasn't given up yet.
Yeah.
He's not even deterred or discouraged. He's like, no, we'll make the park better. It's fine. We'll fix this.
Maybe correct me because I haven't read I read the Jurassic Park book, I think, when I was in high school. But they made Hammond out to be more of a bad guy.
Oh, he was a piece of shit, and actually, like Nedry was more sympathetic because Hammond was really fucking him over.
Yeah.
So like you felt a little bit bad for him. I think I like the corrections in this though.
I do too. Like
you can't hate Richard Attenborough, man.
Yeah,
you can't hate Santa Claus.
That's true.
You can't. And he was just like he had the best of intentions. I mean, I know that paves the road to hell.
Money.
Yeah, the best of intention is money.
And at the end of, I mean, there was going to be a coupon day, guys. Relax. There was going to be a coupon for the filthy, unwashed pores.
Yeah.
Jeez. God. You guys act like the greedy capitalists are responsible for this. Calm down. So
they call those guys the Section 8s.
Yeah.
There was going to be a coupon day for them.
There was going to be a coupon day for them. They just have to get to the fucking island. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Just fly in your helicopter in your private jet.
Yeah, you'll get there. You also find out too. This is where you find out like that the dinosaurs are actually breeding again, or they are breeding.
Yes.
Life has found a way because he's found the eggs that have been hatched.
The very first transgender dinosaurs.
The very first. Actually, they did. They absolutely transitioned. And because the frogs were known in
that's
the
right,
frog
right.
DNA they used to splice, in the dinosaurs, sometimes their frogs will just switch genders randomly.
Dude, you're right too. Like when we're reading this shit out loud, it sounds. They're like, oh yeah, but this frog DNA. They. I just took that all at face value. I'm like, oh, basically like everyone watching TikTok nowadays. I'm just like, yeah, it's on TikTok. It must be real, right? So
It's got to be real, dude. They said it.
That's basically what it was.
That's got to be
they're
fucked.
actors.
Yeah,
they're actors playing scientists. It's 100% true.
Yeah,
it's so believable.
This is a documentary.
It's like It's
Yeah.
like Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway when they were filming Interstellar. Like she kept asking the director and the scientists, like the consultants or whatever. She kept asking questions, and Matthew McConaughey was like, Jesus Christ, Anne, we're not actually scientists.
All right.
Oh, love it, man. I absolutely love it. So in the jungle, Dr. Grant does bond with the kids. We get a little more character development with them. They get to see brachiosauruses, Gibbs, and we find out that
this is an educational podcast, by the way. You can see Leaf learning in real time.
This sucks, dude. I've learned anything. Nothing. I've learned nothing. So back at home base.
Whatever happened to that guy?
No idea.
Back at home base at the visitor center, they come up with a plan, and Samuel L. Decides that he's going to tell everyone yet again to hold on to their butts, and he's going to reboot the computer system against his will.
Hold on to your butts.
It's weird. He's got a cigarette in his mouth.
I know.
He's smoking, right? And it mostly works, right? The computer system reboots. Just one hitch. They have to go actually across the park, a short little trip, not very far.
What could possibly?
And to complete the process, they have to manually switch a couple more switches. Easy peasy, right?
Just throwing some breakers, no big deal. He'll be right back.
Samuel L. volunteers to go by himself and take care of that. And that's we never see him again.
Yeah.
Most of him.
They foreshadowed his death earlier in the movie when they showed us his skin color.
Very true. Very true.
Kids.
We knew someone was.
Just you beat me to it.
Oh, my bad.
You stepped all over it.
Yeah,
all over it. And back with Dr. Grant and the kids. Now they're in an open field in Hawaii somehow, no longer in Costa Rica, running around with other dinosaurs as the T-Rex again eats.
That scene is
eats
fucking
some of those
awesome.
Dinosaur. That scene is really cool.
Like
it's just
what,
more cool.
What dinosaurs are those that's in the herd? And then
the Gallimimus.
Those like move and coming at them. That whole scene. Where
the
they're just
Gallimimus. They're just running around, dude, all over the place.
Just being awkward and hilarious. But yeah,
and that's another scene where they could have killed the kid and they just didn't do it.
Yeah, and that one was another little spotty CGI for me.
I think the daytime, it was too bright. I think all of the CGI looks a hell of a lot better whenever it's darker and it's raining and there's stuff that's kind of in the way, so you don't get too good of a glimpse of it.
Well, that was the first time that they used the same digital model and just replicated it to make like
a bunch of the herd.
Yeah, however many there were running.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could have used like a sprite change the color,
right.
like Sub-Zero and Scorpion or something.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd work. That'd worked much better. It was still nonetheless a really cool scene, especially in the 90s. And
you see
the
T-Rex
kids,
in his own element hunting.
Yeah, he's just eating the wrong thing. He should have been eating a fucking
He
kid.
should have been eating one of them kids.
Yeah.
He should have been eating baby.
He should have been
That's
eating
why.
baby.
That's why their parents had two kids, so they had a spare.
When you think about Tyrannosaurus, think eating baby.
Yeah.
And Karl Malone.
Karl
Don't
Malone.
forget. Hey, guess what, Jimmy Kimmel? No, we're never gonna forget.
Remember now, you too could prevent forest fire. Until next time, it's your Karl Malone.
Ever. So when Samuel L. doesn't come back, who else comes to the rescue but none other than Hot Piece and Slouch Hat? And they go to flip on. So they have to go and flip the switch on by themselves. And it's super intense.
Yeah.
Super intense scene because we know the Raptors are out. The moment we've all been fearing in the theater because these things they're just vicious, brutal, absolute murderous killers, and that's all they do.
And we know that they are killing for sport and not just to eat. So we've already covered that.
And thank Christ they're not smart enough to learn how to open a door.
Thank God. Dude.
Thank God.
Otherwise we'd be in real trouble.
All it's saving us at this point. So this is when you have the love this scene where he's got it in his sights. Because I mean, this is what you're thinking in the theaters. You're like, fucking shoot these things. For the love of God, start taking these things down. And then he's got his gun, so you're like, fuck yeah, here we go. About to have some Raptor stew. And instead,
he's got the outfit for hunting dinosaurs for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
He does, man. He's from Australia, which basically they have to fight shit like that there just to get to school in the morning.
And instead, those Raptors sing this bloody Jingo Jango when he's singing the beloved songs of his country. But he's got the Raptor at his sights.
Clever girl.
Like an Aussie would, right? An Aussie's going to go out as a badass anyway. He's going to get one line in.
I've always wanted that gun that he's got too, the Spaz 12.
The shotgun.
It's a cool fucking gun, man. That's just cool looking shit.
It looks cool too. That's the other part about it. That gun.
He's set up, man. He's got it all. It's so intense, and then she makes it.
She does make it into the area where she's got to flip the switches.
Yeah, it's like a housed little power station.
Yeah,
She has to go into this little shack basically, and it kind of goes underground a little bit.
She just had to flip a breaker or pump it to get it back on or whatever.
And that's actually a cool scene because in the moment, right before Slouch Hat Ozzy gets killed, you got this moment where what the fuck is so funny?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
the
Slouch Hat is fucking funny.
That's what it is, dude.
It's like Toucan Sam.
It's the hat that. And so she's down in the basement with the flashlight, and these things are out, and it's a really intense scene because now it's almost like Alien.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, good call.
These things are in there, and she's she's slowly moving around.
We don't even think about it being inside there because it had a door. She runs in, and they're outside because they just got Slouch Hat McGee or whatever his name is.
Right. But
so yeah, she gets the thing reset, and she just takes a breather for a second. She leans up against this fence, a little gate that's in there.
Pipe or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, another fucking got me in the theater.
Mr. Hammond, I think we're back in business.
Yeah, it smashes through the little pipes in that area that's right there.
Because I assumed to this point that Samuel L. Jackson's character got waxed in the forest going over there.
He just never never
got
made
there
it
because we know the Raptors are out there.
Yeah, so she runs away from the Raptor. It gets injured because, like Chris said, she her
flashlight or something falls.
It's her flashlight, and then she's got a walkie-talkie too. Yeah. They were directing her how to get through that area. Yeah. John Hammond was, and then she backs up, and then you see Samuel L's arm makes a cameo.
Oh, Mr. Arnold.
It took a lot of takes to get that scene down because her instinct whenever she saw that black hand on there was to give her a purse up. So she had to fight that instinct. You can cut that if you want.
You got no. You have to leave that in. You've got to leave that. You've got to leave that in. Did I mute my mic? Okay, you've got to leave that
in. Did we see Samuel Jackson get killed in this?
No, you don't see it at all. You find out about it when
so maybe he just lost an arm, and then Newman found him.
Hello, Newman.
Yeah.
And they both escaped the island.
Yeah,
together.
I really want
Gay
to see that
lovers.
movie.
I do too.
Revenge of Nedry sounds so fucking good.
Yeah.
It would have been better than Jurassic Park 2.
Sign me up,
Guaranteed.
man.
We didn't forget to mention that as Ellie is flipping the switch across the park, or actually pretty close because they're near each other now,
Yeah.
Dr. Grant and the kids are climbing the fence. She unintentionally electrocutes Tim nearly to death.
Yeah.
As she flips the switch.
And he has like the spiked hair like for the rest of the movie, like the I just woke up from a short nap like look on his face.
Another missed opportunity. They could have had it where it was, you think he was about to get electrocuted, and then like a pterodactyl came and ripped him up.
It swoops in, screeches like an eagle, and carries him off.
Or the fence could have killed him.
Yeah.
Like, they could have turned it on, and then he turned to a skeleton. Like, was it planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yeah. There you go. Or I mean, we can
Home
do
Alone.
it. Yeah, we can do it ourselves in post. Like what I'll do is like when it electrocutes him, I'll just roll the credits.
1, 2.
He's not breathing.
I'll fade to black and roll the credits, and then that's it. Like
Yeah, fade to black and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. You know, that's
Thank you,
much
Gibbs.
better.
Yeah.
That's actually
it makes a lot of
much
sense
better
too.
ending.
You know,
I like it. I like it. So he gets 10,000 volts straight to the dick.
straight to the fucking dome. Like what?
Yeah. And he gets resuscitated, and you have that funny moment because he was counting to 3 because he was too scared to come off the. So he gets to 1, 2, and then he gets electrocuted, and
It's
then the
just-
scene cuts back.
Yeah, it's just like my lawyer told me. Kids are resilient. So, they can survive a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
So he lives, and finally, everyone reaches back to the visitor center.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant shows up, and he gets the kids to the visitor center, which he thinks is safe. Finally,
Oh,
after
because
all
the
their
Raptors
adventures.
can't open doors, and thank
Is it
God.
safe?
Right, right, exactly.
Yes,
And
it's
so,
safe.
and the fences are back on. So there's this moment where you're just like, well, okay, except for the Raptors, the park's basically back on. Oh yeah, and also the T-Rex broke out. And so you see his meeting. He finally meets Hot Piece Ellie again, and she's crying basically.
Oh, yeah, man.
And
She
just,
thought
like,
he's dead.
jumps on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's basically like run. She can't even scream.
Yeah.
She's having a mental breakdown. She barely escapes out of the Shadwick said, whatever that underground
Power
bunker
building is. Yeah.
Yeah, she barely lives and runs out from the Velociraptors. And for some reason, the kids are separated. Dr. Grant goes outside and leaves the kids alone eating pudding and Jello and shit.
Yeah.
And the Velociraptors find them, and we get the other probably
shaky like Jello and
the shaky Jello moment where she sees the dinosaur. And she's like terrified, and of course we get that awesome scene in the kitchen. The kids run to the kitchen, and the Velociraptors are chasing them. This is another, like Gibbs already mentioned it, or Shadwick, where they're mixing practical effects with special effects, and they just create this super intense scene where the Velociraptors are hunting the children.
Yeah.
And
most of
it's
that
awesome.
most of that's done with 2 guys in outfits, like with that are puppeteering.
Yeah,
with
there's some behind the scenes shit. It looks wild when you see those dudes actually operating them. Like when you see the full dinosaur of them like operating them, it's a head trip because the movie cuts it together and makes it look seamless. Like,
It's seamless. It is. Yeah, it's brilliant. And let me just shout out with something I don't think we have mentioned yet. The noise that the Velociraptors make
that
is
high-pitched
freaking
screech.
shrill.
Gibbs, do you know what they did to get that?
It was hold on, give me a second. I actually wrote that down because I can't remember stuff sometimes. Because shut the fuck up.
You had
need to drink more IPAs.
Booze. Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
It was a mix between a dolphin and a walrus.
Really? A
Yeah.
walrus.
Yeah, a walrus. So for like the high
Or a
pitched
wolfen.
part, the high pitched part, you have the dolphin screeching, and then for the lower end stuff, they have a walrus going, "Oh, shut the fuck up, kids."
Classic walrus. If those that have never seen a walrus in the wild, that's actually what they sound like.
They're really surly. You would imagine by looking at them.
They're different in the wild rather than in captivity.
Yeah, exactly.
So the kids, the kids are in the kitchen, and doesn't it cut to Dr. Grant, and he says something about them they're safe unless they learn how to open doors.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they'll open the door.
And then it cuts.
Yeah. So this actually this kind of parallels something in my real life. When we built the house, when we picked out the doorknobs for all the interior doors, my wife wanted to do round knobs, and I wanted like the handles, and we ended up getting the handles, and I didn't realize it when we had that discussion, but the reason she wanted round handles was because
Velociraptors.
Because our dog can open fucking doors if they're handles.
Oh
no!
So,
oh my god!
So he has opened the door while
he's learning.
We're making whoopee.
What, like fucking?
Calls it that.
Being intimate.
Well, maybe if you take your socks off, the fucking dog can break in and try to stop you, dude. Velociraptor dog, dude. It's such a dude. So that scene is so good. I love my favorite scene, of course. There, and it's famous, is the mirror scene, because I thought they were the first time I ever saw this.
Yeah,
I thought she was toast.
Good.
And so the one of the Velociraptors gets sort of knocked momentarily unconscious. The other one is trapped by Tim in the freezer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they continue to run and flee. They meet up with the adults in the visitor center as the other Velociraptor that's there. There's multiples, like all in the, it becomes like this cat and mouse like portion here at the end of the movie, where the Velociraptors are just super intelligent. They want to murder everything in front of them, and everybody's running. And they can't fight them. Guns don't seem to have an effect on them.
They end up getting back to like the control room to try to, because they have no phone lines or anything, right? Like they're trying to call out, they're trying to get the electric locks going again, like. So that's when it's time for Hacker Girl to
finally
do the thing, man.
After all this time, dude, like finally Lex, the little girl, has her moment in the sun. She knows the Unix system that runs Jurassic Park somehow. And it's
DOS. It's Microsoft DOS.
it's like virtual reality.
AS400.
Back in high school, I hated anybody that was like, "Oh, I use a Unix. I only use Unix." I was like, "Okay, I fucking automatically hate you, you stupid motherfucker."
So that's what that's where she shines here. She shines. She can hack AS400 and get that load to California where it needs to go.
XPM, doing live.
It's going live. Yeah, shoot her.
Get on your Murray
Look how
mower.
mad Gibbs is. Look how mad Gibbs is.
Yeah, shoot her. He's like, you just see like Gibbs has left the chat.
His screen goes black and it's just us three again alone. Oh, I love it, dude. I only understand 50% of what y'all are talking about, but yeah, that's excellent. Seeing Gibbs' anger makes it all worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gibbs, get on your damn Murray mower.
So she gets the system back online, though, right?
She gets all the systems on, so the phones are working again, most importantly. She locks the door, which doesn't work for very long. It only deters the raptors.
Phones come on, and she instantly checks her Twitter.
She's like, I wonder if I got any likes.
Oh, my God. So
she's like, hey, well, Ellie, will you do the dance with me?
She had to post a picture of her Jell-O from earlier.
Yeah. Looks delicious.
So we roll into the final scene. The Raptors break into the visitor center, like computer area, But the phones are back on. They're able to radio for help. So the helicopter, the private helicopter, Elon Musk's electric helicopter's on the way to save them.
Yes.
God damn!
And they're running through the visitor center in the vents. There's a bunch of scenes where there are narrow misses where they barely manage to escape.
Yeah, so that was another little CGI part that was off to me when the girl falls through the ceiling panel.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell that's green screen. There's just a little halo outline of her.
With the Velociraptor part.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a projection behind her.
Yeah.
It really does look bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's whenever I turned the movie off. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not."
Yeah, just never finished it because of that scene.
So how does it end? They all die, right?
Yeah,
I assume they just nuke the fucking island and
they're
It's,
trying
just it's a mushroom cloud. And for some reason, Arnold is like flying away in the helicopter.
He looks down at him and he's like, "You earned it."
And that's the beginning of Running Man.
He
didn't want to. There were civilians down there. He didn't want to. No.
So we just tied Jurassic Park to Running Man. Awesome, good job, guys. This was worth it.
Well done.
So
well
this
done.
is my favorite thing. This is a nod to wrestling at the very end of this, where you have the Velociraptors.
All the pussies just dried up.
Like all the Raptors got them surrounded, and then who's gonna be who's gonna save you? But your former heel Tyrannosaurus Rex shows up to be the babyface role, because everyone knows once you hate somebody, you just really want to like them. So now he's your top babyface in the territory. He's drawing lots of money. T-Rex versus King Kong, selling out several arenas around the area.
Everybody's in the big visitor center with the bones of the T-Rex like statue, and they're completely surrounded by velociraptors, and then you hear,
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
The T-Rex comes in, all of the Rock, turning babyface, and then throws one, eats one. I don't know. He fucks
Belly
one, marries one,
suplex.
kills one.
That's fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah. He fuck, marry, kills the Raptors.
So originally, like, they were just gonna have the bones impaled, like the Velociraptors, and that was just gonna be how they ended. But they wanted to bring back the T-Rex, and one of the guys on set was like, "Well, how does the T-Rex even get in here?" And he's like, Steven Spielberg was like, "Well, the way we're going to shoot it is he comes in down from the frame instantly." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, that's how he's going to come into the picture.
Yeah.
But how's he going to get in
the fucking building?" Yeah, like the T-Rex that has vibrated the ground with every fucking step has like
It's stealth.
It's fucking
stealthy.
army crawled in with his little arms. He's ready.
He's like,
man.
"Surprise, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And the
But that was such an amazing moment. I just remember losing my damn mind in the theater. First time I saw it, he comes out and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Oh, same here. And then you get the little iconic scene too of the Jurassic Park banner falling as they escape out.
He's roaring.
So well shot.
I also remember in the theater at this point they were giving CPR to the guy in front of me and trying to
who had vomit down his neck and his face.
But that banner falling, it sure does look like a thumbnail for an episode.
Yeah, it sure does.
It sure damn does. I can't wait to personally see it.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't even know how you could not have that scene. Like, that scene is, and so T-Rex is not even an argument. That is the most famous dinosaur that's ever existed. It's period. Yeah, whether no matter what, like, that's the most famous. Everybody in the theater, every young boy wanted to see it again. And as Chris said, it's one of the biggest redemption arcs in all of film, because he actually ends up saving everyone, and that's what you really wanted to see. Like, you want to love the T-Rex, not be scared of him the entire time. You get your
Gave him
chance.
his little curtain call at the end.
Yeah, man.
At the end,
he really is the star of the film.
He's
That's
the
who
star.
you're there for.
Yeah.
The king is there.
Baby,
You're rooting
he's
for
back.
him.
So then they fly off and they're all safe, and Hammond's like,
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Yeah. Now in the book, both Hammond and Malcolm die. Like Hammond's killed by the compies, which
right?
we don't see in this one. And, and Malcolm succumbs to his injuries from the T-Rex.
The book was, but also like in the book.
But in the second book, they bring him back to life too. So it's just like
in the book, they didn't have Jeff Goldblum playing. Yeah. So they're like, you cast Jeff Goldblum, you're like, you can't fucking kill him. Like, what are we doing? So
no. What are you doing? Have you seen him shirtless? We didn't mention the scene, but he's in there.
He's in there,
shirtless,
and that's good.
It's a little eye candy for the ladies, man.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up because I have a fun question for us on our. Oh, you didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know.
So, what is your favorite death scene in this movie?
I'm gonna say Newman probably.
Hello, Newman.
Because he's so easy to hate.
Yeah.
And he was being condescending to that poor little dinosaur.
Like, he was.
Stick, stupid.
Yeah.
The shock whenever he gets into the Jeep, you think he's safe, and then it's
in the
sitting next
passenger
to
seat.
the passenger seat. Yeah, that's a great shot. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the lawyer death. Like that one was my favorite one. I think just I don't know, just the visual of the T-Rex, like how animals do, and your dog will try to rip some shit to shreds. Then Perry's just gutted a fucking stuffed animal everywhere, and Artie's trying to eat the fucking stuffing, and god damn.
Also, the lawyer is really satisfying too because he leaves the kids.
Yeah.
He's been a sleazebag all movie. You hate him because he's trying to shut down Jurassic Park in the beginning before you realize Jurassic Park's a nightmare land. Right? And, like, you can't stand him. And then when he realizes the dinosaurs are real, he's like, oh shit, we're gonna make a ton of money. You can hire me and I'll help you with like the merchandising.
Right, yeah.
He's like, he's just an absolute fucking total scumbag the entire time. He looks like a scumbag. No offense to the actor that played him, he probably R.I.P. But fuck that dude. And then
he's a scary guy.
When the heat finally when it gets too hot, he leaves the children to save his own ass.
I'm out.
So when he dies, it is so super satisfying. To watch.
But when we were kids, like you couldn't like assign him the role of like your ex-wife's lawyer, so it wasn't as rewarding
as it is now.
But now it's much more like.
I definitely can see that.
Gennaro was my favorite character. I mean, I hate seeing him go. My favorite death is whenever Tim gets cornered by the velociraptors, and each one of them grabs one of his legs and they rip him apart like a wishbone.
I love that scene.
Director's cut.
The lawyer's death is my favorite.
I'm going to differentiate from everybody and say that my favorite scene was Ozzy Slouch Hat getting killed by the team of Velociraptors.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. It was, to me, the scariest death in the film. Nedry's a very close second, but this is the most scary because there's that moment where you think he's about to shoot him and the Velociraptor's sitting there, and then the other comes out, and it's like face to face.
Yeah.
And he just pauses. Yeah. And then there's that moment. He knows he's dead. You know he's dead. And it's like, it seems like the moment lasted forever. It's over for him. And then he turns and then it attacks him. It's just.
And also,
super intense.
You see that he has like an appreciation for their intelligence.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm about to die, but
I mean, that's kind
that
of
was pretty awesome.
That's kind of par for the Aussies that like in movies and shit.
Yeah, like the way like him saying "clever girl," like I cool under pressure. Me, I would have screamed, "Bush did 9/11," but like.
I mean, you got to go out with something.
You got to go out with that. And with that, I think we'll just go ahead and wrap this one up and take us over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
Michael Jackson. He said, "I don't care if my child is a boy or a girl, as long as it's a boy." He's going to name it. He said he doesn't know what he's going to name it. He said he thinks if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon. Really? Yeah. And if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it. That's what he said. Oh, the camera's on me now.